Recorded live with little or no editing. It's Defense Up. I'm Run 7. How you doing? Today I've got a hot one for you. If you guys didn't catch it on the stream recycle, we had Tdub and a long list of other content creators that came through, and we all talked about our experiences with this patch, what we're building for, and all the different things that you need to do. Tdub, however, also gave me his defense, and we have it featured right here. We're gonna get right into it and tear it apart. For those of you who don't know, we grade on 5 different criteria. It's who you're using, their placement, their power levels, their ISOs, and what kind of mood I'm in. I am feeling very chipper. I had a great stream. It was wonderful having all my friends and other content creators on the stream today. It really got me pumped, and I learned actually a lot about what I should be building for and stuff like that. So be sure to check out that stream recycle. Okay, team number 1. Oh, wow. Tdub not starting off strong with this one. This is literally just some players he threw together. Okay, so Winter Soldier is boosting this number up here, and I'm not sure if that's a good thing, because I would look at that and go, oh, it's Winter Soldier. He's garbage at any power level. So this is an inflated number. I don't even have to use that big a team. Now, of course, Tdub's in some pretty serious wars, and so I think anybody he goes against is going to punch down into this, and it's really not gonna matter. But that being said, I think we have some useful pieces in here that are being wasted. Mordo could go on an offense. I don't think Tdub's using that. If you do use Mordo on an offense, you're going to want to bring him up to a level 5 skirmisher so his ability block and his blinds and stuff stick. He got a boost to his stats, and it's still not enough. He still has trouble in the matchups you want to use him for, like with that Dark Hunter team and stuff like that. But he has some use elsewhere, just not on this defense because there's 0 synergy. You have Minerva on here, reviving. Who cares? What do you have Minerva on here for? What are you reviving? You don't want any of these people to be revived. This is just to soak up somebody's energy, and it's only going to get one. No one's going to fail on this team, so it's wasting Minerva. You could use her and her teal gear elsewhere. As for these Asgardians, they're mostly trash, but we're probably going to find something that we could use elsewhere. I don't even know what ISO Winter Soldier should be, because no one should be using him anywhere. He's total trash. And these other ISOs, like, I don't like healer on these. I think they should be raiders. And then Minerva as a fortifier is fine. Also, healer works. Probably fortifier for tech raids is what's going on right there. Yeah, this is just 2 characters boosting this number. It's total trash, and I think it's a waste. We should just break up this entire team. You'd be better off throwing in the shield guard drones in here than using these people, because we're going to see later on where we can use them. So for me, this is like a D. Right? Because you wasted excess ions on these 2 with bad choices. You made him war ready, and he's not going to be very effective. And then this guy, forget about. Well, I mean, you had to build him, so okay. All right, moving on to team number 2 is a mashup of Supernatural and Wave 1. Okay, so look, here's what we can do. We can take Scarlet Witch and Doctor Strange off of this team and add in these Asgardians over here. They're gonna synergize well with Thor and make Thor do what he's supposed to do on the Wave 1 Avengers. Of course, they're not gonna get that synergy that would speed up the other characters, or whatever, it was a Hulk or something, or I don't know. They're not Avengers, obviously, but they're still gonna give the charges to Thor and make him pop off faster. Plus, that Heimdall is gonna give Thor the protection from blind if somebody wants to use a traditional counter into this team. Healer on Doctor Strange. What the hell's going on there? That needs to be a fortifier to keep him alive when he's on defense, because, well, on offense too, really, because the trick is on the Supernatural team, you kill Doctor Strange and then the team kind of folds because Doctor Strange is supposed to revive the team. I don't like healer on that at all. I think that's a terrible choice. Skirmisher on Scarlet Witch, that's for arena and stuff going on there, so that's a fine investment. But let's pull those 2 off. Let's throw the other 2 Asgardians on. You're gonna put Sif over here next to Captain America, so you got your tanks on one side with Black Widow in the middle dividing the team, and then Heimdall probably over here, or it doesn't really matter, just on the other side with Thor. I think that's going to work out better. As for your ISOs, we have, okay, so I don't mind healer on Captain America. We're going to have Raider on Sif, and then we're going to have probably Raider on Heimdall for the AoEs. I would like to see Thor as a Raider, but you've kind of already invested in that with the other Raiders that we're bringing in here. Keeping him a striker works great on that build. And then you have healer on Black Widow. Okay, I'm giving this team a C. Moving on. All right, it's A.I.M. Okay, nothing really egregious here. I think that we should probably make Assaulter a skirmisher rather than a healer. You could just put him as a level 1, and then I like Graviton as a raider better, and that'll give you some vulnerables for your striker to work off of. Of course, this team is getting rolled no matter what you do. So don't invest anything, but maybe make those switches to the level 1 ISO. It might help. I doubt it. It's probably not going to be worth anything. I'm going to give you a B for this team. It's not horrible. You didn't get too far off the mark. I mean, you did kind of invest a little bit in the wrong way that direction, but you didn't get too crazy with it. And this is just a filler team. All right, moving on. Team number 4 is the PymTech team. I want a placement swap with Ant-Man and Wasp, and a placement swap with Ghost and Yellow Jacket. And then I prefer her as a fortifier. She's kind of squishy, but of course don't change it because her power level in comparison to these two team members is ridiculous. She's going to die no matter what you do. So don't change it. But for those of you building this team, if you want to build it, and I don't recommend it, it's a garbage team. I like her as a fortifier better. So this isn't too bad. Tdub isn't building these characters, so it is a little bit of a waste. I mean, Skirmisher's not a terrible pick for her. It's okay. You're going to get some value out of that. It's just a shame that you put so much into it. Like, these should all just be level 1 ISO. Kind of in war, it's level 1 or level 4 war ready, or above if the character has value outside of it. And it just depends on how serious you are about that war team, how much you want to build them. For a lot of tunes, it's just put the level 1 in there because it costs next to nothing. So a little bit of a placement swap is the biggest change. I can you know, deal with this being a skirmisher. Probably actually her being a skirmisher is a better pick because she's going to die anyway, so you might as well just hopefully she gets a turn off and lands a vulnerable somewhere for Ghost to jump into. So actually, so that's not too bad. A little bit of a waste, not really bad. I'm gonna go B+. Actually, I'll go A- on that. It's not horrific. Let's get a placement swap in though. All right, heroes for hire. We've got Shang-Chi, and then we've got Luke Cage in the corner. You know what? It doesn't matter that Luke Cage is in the corner because he's so small relative to your Shang-Chi. He's going to die no matter what happens. Anything that people bring in to take care of Shang-Chi is going to annihilate Luke Cage no matter what his ISO is and all that. So honestly, what I'd like to see you do is change Luke Cage and Iron Fist to skirmishers. That's so if they do take a turn, it's going to put more vulnerables on the field for Shang-Chi to do that extra damage. Like, I think it's 10% damage for the vulnerables. So that's where you're going to get some value there. Doesn't cost you anything other than that 1 ISO 8 material to make that swap to skirmisher. You don't need to change their placement because it doesn't matter. He's going to die in the opening move. Although for those of you building the team, I kind of like Luke Cage not in the corner. There's a variety of different builds, but you just get him off the corner. This Shang-Chi is huge. It's going to catch people off guard. You might actually get some DVs if somebody thinks that they can take their like 800 Black Order in here or something, and then Shang-Chi just starts deleting him because he's just crazy good. It's all right. It's not bad. So let's change those ISOs. Now, normally, if you're building the team a little more even, you're going to go Fortifier on Luke Cage, and you're going to go Skirmisher or Raider on Iron Fist. You don't make him a healer because all the counters that come into this team use heal block, and so you get very little value out of him being a healer. But you make him a Fortifier so he dies and revives and comes back with more barrier, making him that much tougher. But on Tdub's version, with this team being so small and flimsy, these guys just falling over in a gust of wind, let's go with Skirmisher just to add some vulnerables to the field. I'm gonna go, you didn't waste anything, but the placement is wrong, and technically I don't like those ISOs, so I'm gonna give you a B for the team. It's not horrible, but I mean, this little tricky power level, you know, power hiding is actually gonna get you some wins, I think. All right, team number 6 is the Doom Mercs. Now, I really like the Doom Merc team. I think it's fairly effective and it draws in some big counters. The problem with this one is the disparity in power levels between the Mercs and Doom. Anybody that you bring in to defeat Dr. Doom is going to wipe out the Mercs as an afterthought, and they just don't even matter at all. Right? So if you're going to do this, then you make all your Mercs Skirmisher or Raider so that hopefully you get some vulnerables that Dr. Doom is going to attack in. But honestly, they're just going to get wiped out. So rather than throwing Doom in here, I'd like to see you throw in either Merc Lieutenant or Korat the Pursuer. I don't know, with the Wakandan rework, I don't know where you're going to go with that, Tdub. If you want to take Shuri and Killmonger off of that and make a Wakandan defense, you know, and then just throw in your trash Mercs and let it be a filler team, it's kind of up to you. There's multiple ways to go with Taskmaster and his Mercs. You can do Taskmaster as a skirmisher and all the Mercs as a striker to get triple hit combos, which isn't very effective at this late stage in the game. I kind of like making Taskmaster either a raider or a striker now, and then making the others skirmishers or raiders or something like that, so that Taskmaster bounces off of them, copies those positive effects with his striker ISO, you know, going back into him and copying that positive effect and being more powerful. You know, if you have a big built-up Taskmaster, that's a way to do it. But let's take Doom off of this team, or take Doom and Shuri off of this team and try something else and just make a junk Merc defense instead. I think this is a waste of your mercenaries because they're just going to get wiped out. So I'm going to go with a B- on this. I think we're going to find better things to do with Doom in the future here. Oh, good God, not you two. Okay, I absolutely hate the Ox 6 team. I think it's a waste of Doc Ock. I think you can use him on hybrids to a much greater effect. Okay, you know when you were a little kid and you put a cinder block with a piece of plywood over it, and you had your little brother lay in front of it, and you ran your bike and jumped over him, or you tried to, but the ramp would fall down, and you run over your little brother and make him cry, and then your mom would whoop you? I mean, I don't know if that happened to you, just, you know. Anyway, these 4 people are the ramp that you just built, and this is your little brother that you're driving over. So get rid of Doc Ock. Don't put him in front of this ramp for the speed meta teams to absolutely roll over and annihilate your Doc Ock. He's a useful character. We got to put him someplace else. Switch out Doc Ock with any other member of the Sinister Six. I don't like Swarm without Doc Ock because he literally kills himself. You know, maybe throw in Rhino or something like that. I like Mysterio as either a skirmisher or a striker on this build. Let's make him a striker so that he'll double tap into the vulnerables these guys are putting off and clear some more positive effects. And then Rhino as a raider. Let's put Doc Ock like any place else other than this. All right, for me, this is a huge waste of a tier 16 tune. So I'm going to give you a C- on that one. And that's a really nice gesture on my part if you ever watch these videos. Okay. Oh my God, Tdub, are you intentionally trying to upset me here? Okay, we have Marauders being paired up with new warriors, okay? Dorky Dad just put out a defense video showcasing some of the best versions of the new warriors. It's a really good video. He's got some great options. For me, I like something like Shuri and Surfer, or Drax and Surfer, or Drax and Shuri, or something like that, so that energy might go to Dagger and speed him up. You have Drax in there drawing that taunt so they can't just annihilate Dagger or ability block Cloak or something like that. You can do some tricky stuff if you're an OG player and accidentally invested in Hand Sentry or something and have him hide people, or so, you know, do a Drax and Hand Sentry or something stupid like that. I don't recommend that, but if you happen, there's some things you can do. The goal is to protect these two, and Strife isn't going to do that. Strife also needs to be a fortifier, by the way, not a healer. He just moves too slow to heal. Also, Strife taunts faster the more mutant villains you have on the team, and especially fast with Madeline Pryor. He basically spawns with taunt with Madeline Pryor on the team. So we want to make that Marauder team out of these guys or something, but your Strife isn't holding up. You kind of got to invest in Strife to make that Marauder team work. He's a bit of a linchpin for that. He also definitely needs to be a fortifier. So to me, this is kind of a waste. Strife's going to die in a gust of wind compared to these gear tiers. Sinister, who cares? He's so slow. He'll be like the 3rd target on this team after you annihilate Dagger and Cloak. I think you're kind of wasting 2 teams. This is really kind of atrocious to me. I do like the ISOs that you've got going on here. I just want to see you make 2 separate teams out of this. And we've been breaking up so many teams in your previous lineup that I think you're going to have room to do that. I don't know where your Emma's at. I don't know where, you know, your Madeline Pryor. You probably skipped her because you're a smart player. But I think you could field the old Marauder team if you need to, and then just come up with something different, like I said, like a Surfer on this team, or if you're adjacent into defense down or in security, you know, you might consider doing something like putting a Chavez in here with a Coulson so that Cloak and Coulson are sped up and you know, going into defense down and really helping this team out. There's all sorts of things you can do with the new Warriors. They're very mix and matchable. You can even combine them with the Brotherhood, which I didn't even realize that was a thing, but we're seeing these Brotherhood pairings with new Warriors that works really, really well. So let's try something different there. I don't mind what you've done with all of the ISOs except for Strife. That's a huge waste. Going healer, he definitely needs to be Fortifier. It's not a waste. He uses it really well. It's a great thing to put on there because he is a hot target when you run that Marauder team. So for me, this is a C- again. You got two teams here. Let's split them up. Team number 9 is the Web Warriors. What in the heck is it with healer ISO? Tdub, oh my gosh. People make fun of me for putting healer on Scarlet, but I didn't dare put it on Ponk or OG Spider-Man. Okay, I hope your Scourge run was fantastic because that's a waste of ISOs in my opinion. Let's switch them back to Raider. You could make OG Spider a Skirmisher if you wanted to. I don't see the value here making them healers. However, your placement is good. Everything else about this team is great. So I'm gonna just go with a B+ on this. This might work, I don't know. I never even thought to try and test this on defense. Like, this is so far off of what I thought would be a good build or a good ISO choice for that. So I don't know. Let me know what you think, but really I think the way to go is Raider on that one. All right, let's go to team number 10. Oh, it's the showstopper. Look at that big bad Dormammu on the Darkhold team. I bet this gets the DVs, right? Forget the rest of that lineup. It's all about team number 10 right here. Hey, congratulations on getting through Dark Dimension. That looks great. You got Striker on Wong. We got Raider on Heartless. You went Skirmisher on Agatha. I prefer Raider on Agatha. I like getting those extra vulnerables out there, and you do have 3 strikers and only 2 people putting out vulnerables. Making her into a Raider because she does so many AoE attacks. She barely ever uses her basic because there's so much energy popping off with this team that she's getting AoE after AoE, and so there's a lot more opportunities to put vulnerable out there, which is very good. You need Wong to go into those vulnerables and double tap with his basic assist, which clears negative effects. And you've got here's the thing. This is more of an arena placement that you've got going on. You've got Agatha in between 2 people, and I think you're going for damage and health steal on the assist, calling these 2. What I would like to see you do is put Agatha in the corner next to Wong, next to I don't care who. And that way, on her call out, she calls Wong, and he does his basic assist and removes negative effects from the team. Now, this team, I don't have a whole ton of experience going into because we don't see Dormammu's in my war. I do see this team on arena defense. And one of the ways to beat this team is like you kind of like have to do like Eternals speed build and blow them up fast. So it may not be as important to get Agatha adjacent to Wong removing negative effects when they're just trying to nuke you. It may be that they try to kill you fast. I don't know. Watch your histories. If you see them nuking your team in one shot, which I don't think they are, I think they're probably sending in a SAC team and then trying to get, I don't know, Weapon X or something in here because, you know, the hybridization that you need to do to take this team out in one shot is ridiculous. So watch your histories. Let me know what's going into this team because I'm very curious. This is a cutting edge kind of thing that we're going to start seeing more and more in war. And I want to know if the placement with Agatha next to Wong is working for you or if you think that going with callouts to MLF is better. But either way, she only calls one person outside of arena. So put Agatha in the corner next to whoever you want called out. Maybe it's Dormammu. I don't know. Just kidding. Agatha only calls Darkhold for assists, so don't even think about putting Dormammu next to her. That would be a waste. Just gonna add that in there. Thanks. Bye. MLF as a striker is perfectly fine, especially on war defense. In arena, I do like her as a skirmisher. I have maxed her out as both striker and skirmisher, and I've had much better results as a skirmisher in arena. However, in war, I think there's something to be said about keeping her as a striker, so I think that's pretty good. So honestly, Tdub, I think placement change, consider changing Agatha's ISO to a Raider, but this is a fantastic team. Good job getting there. This took some work just to put on the board, so congrats Congrats to that. I like it. I'm going to go A- because there's a lot of questionable stuff here. It's very early, so I don't want to grade it too hard, but this is a pretty sexy team, if I may say so myself. All right, Tdub is a fantastic streamer and content creator. He has a YouTube channel and streams on Twitch like 9 days a week. He's great. When I'm not streaming, I'm hanging out in his streams. So be sure to check him out. I'll put his links in the description. And remember, guys, don't just have a good game. Be good to yourselves and others too. And I will catch you next time. Bye.